What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, I am in a bit of a different position today, but that's just because I'm leaned back and I've got my feet up, and I just feel like relaxing. So we're gonna do some TA and relax while we're doing this. Okay, here we are at about $2.34. It turns out that yesterday was, in fact, a sell the news event. It seems to have been 8% to the downside. That seems like enough to me. I wasn't expecting that, mainly on the premise that everybody seemed to be expecting that, but perhaps everybody wasn't thinking that. Maybe there was a little bit more hope in the markets than I originally thought. On that note, I actually do want to see what's the fear and greed index at. We're at a 25. What is this? Is this new? I don't know if I ever noticed this. Alt season. What? Is it just the Bitcoin dominance? Is that all it is? Maybe they changed it recently. It's Bitcoin season. It's alt season. Hey, I like that. That's kind of interesting there. I never noticed that before. But a 25 is we're definitely at low levels of fear, my friends. And the fact that we've been here for so long is a bit odd, I must admit. But whatever. We still have higher lows. It's not a true like sell the news event, right? We're not seeing some kind of massive dump from our pump that led into the news event and then we dump down. It's not happening. I mean, not yet at least. I don't think that we're going to continue going lower like past this low here, but I do think that we're going to go lower from the current price here. We were in a nice posturing on the daily RSI and yesterday relinquished that, okay? We got out above the 60, back down to the 50, found support, looking to continue to get above the 60, but we didn't. Now we're back below the 50. Likely we do go lower until we find support probably around the 40. It doesn't have to be exactly at the 40. We can go below the 40. We can find support just above it, but I would anticipate with a fresh cross below the 50 that we do something on the lines of going lower. So let's anticipate that. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame here. Let me quiet this thing down too so that we're not so loud. Yeah, I don't know how loud that was, but let's fix that. Okay, $2.34 right now. Looking at it, I'm sure a lot of XRP people, maybe not XRP people, but speculators are probably crapping their pants because we broke out of this line. Oftentimes when crypto stocks, whatever, oftentimes whenever they break through their diagonal lines like this, they that tends to be the area that it's the best time to buy, right? Stuff like that. It's like right whenever people capitulate, that's when it's time to buy. Diagonal lines, they don't matter so much. What does matter are horizontal levels, right? You've got a closing 4-hour basis here, of which you might be finding support at right now. So when I say you could go lower, I might be setting myself up to be wrong. Maybe you don't go lower. You could find support right here. I don't think you do. I do think you go lower, but let's just see. I mean, hey, man, you're pretty damn close to that golden ratio. I mean, you're at 234. Maybe the lowest you go to is about 230. Like, not too much lower at all, but a little bit lower is what I would expect. If not there, then what I think you'll do, because this will be your second. Okay, so from a low to a high, this will be your second interaction with the golden ratio if you stop here, right? So I would anticipate almost always, not every time, but it's like 60% or more of the time, you do go below the golden ratio on the second attempt. So I would think, $2.13, $2.05, somewhere in this zone would be where you find support, okay? $2.13, $2.05, and I'm in favor of the idea of finding support at the 786. Again, you found support here on this 4-hour closing period, or not closing period, just on a wicking period on a price perspective. You found support back here, a little bit of support right there at the closing period on the 4-hour. Going back in time, nothing really. A lot of cryptos have been going down to their 786 and finding support there. So just something to note. It's completely possible that you don't move that low. It's completely possible that the majority of this move is already over and that 230 holds as support, and that's fine if it does. To invalidate the notion of going down to $2.14 to $2.05, to invalidate that, I would need you to close a 4-hour period above this red line here at $2.70, 0.74. So 2.7074. If you can close a 4-hour period above there, you're not going lower at all, right? Even if you don't go to the slightly lower levels that I'm talking about, if you just move up from here and you close, because none of these are requirements. They're lines, they're ideas. None of them need to happen, okay? But statistically speaking, you are in favor of going lower. These are the identifiable zones as defined by the fibs. If the fibs are fibbing, if I'm mistaken in the trajectory of this thing, which the 4-hour to me seems to be indicative that we are going to go lower as well, then I would need to see price closing at $2.70, 0.74. Okay, so 2.7074. Even if we do go lower, and I think we do go lower, even if we do go lower, once we come back up, that area will be crucial to breaking. Whenever we break above that, that will likely validate the notion that we're not going lower anymore, and that instead we are looking to break this high and go beyond. What's significant about breaking above $3, you guys, is that at that point we're looking at new all-time highs. I mean, all-time highs, I don't know how crazy it sounds, but they should be considered. But by anybody holding XRP right now, all-time highs should be something that are fresh on the brain, because you're very, very close. You are super close. I know XRP feels a bit dull, a bit boring right now. I might not be speaking to the right people, because you went through it, man. You went through the boring times already. Even a 20% move to the downside on a weekly time frame, I guess, is a little bit exciting, to be completely fair, compared to what you've been through for most of your existence over this past for this bull cycle. But you are on the precipice of breaking out to new all-time highs. Enough of my shenanigans here. I think this is just a consolidation phase after this beautiful move up. Whenever you do break out and you see higher prices, when you break above $2.70, I think that it's time really to start thinking about higher prices. Those target areas, at least relatively immediately speaking, unless we go lower than this low, then everything changes, you guys. If you go lower than that low, everything changes. High to low, and that doesn't mean that the all-time highs have to change, just maybe the short-term time frames change. The immediate targets would be something at around $4 to $5. Right, you're at 234 now, but inevitably by the end of April, I absolutely expect that you'll be in the money zone, something between about 1320 to 1140, something in that area, the 2886 to the 3113. Minimum target would be at about 837. 837 is right here, and the reason we like that is it's just above the 2272. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is because I think that it's funny. I think that it'll mess with people, because they're like, why 837? It's just above the 2272. That doesn't make, well, but why'd you choose 837? Specifically because, and all the people who've been watching the channel for the past couple of weeks or past couple of months, you know, or should it be past? Would it be past couple of months? Yeah, past couple of months, I would say. At least a month and a half we've been talking about this. At the 1272 here, that's $8.37. It's literally right above the 2272. It's very common with any 2272, no matter what the time frame is, no matter what the relevance is, the time frame. The 2272, you oftentimes go just above it. Just above it. You don't like break through it and crash through it. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you wick just above it. You can stop right at it as well, but it's very common that you do go just above it. If you do, 837 at the 1272, the minimum target to achieve out of your prior all-time high to low, this macro multi-cycle consolidation phase, would be at 837. Makes sense to me that you would go there at least by the end of April, by the end of this move. If not there, my expectations then would be the 1414 area, which is at about 1140 to 1320. I don't know if you actually get to 1356, but I accept it as a possibility. I'm more considering this target of about $11, because again, I think that would very much replicate this last move here. And just because it replicates it, you don't have to see the exact same move. In fact, this would actually be even bigger. The move that I'm expecting that's going to happen will be a little bit bigger than this last move. And the reason for that, similar size but a little bit bigger, is because you're also going to be breaking out of new all-time highs, and I think that'll cause a sensation in the XRP community and speculators all across the space. So XRP breaks above $10, you guys, and people are going to go crazy for it. And of course they're going to go crazy for it at the worst time. Hopefully you guys in the XRP army, if you want to take profits, you'll be in a good position to do that. And I don't blame you if you don't want to take profits, but it might be a good area to take profits. Who am I to tell you what to do? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Inevitably, I think XRP goes much further than $11, much further than $13 by the end of the cycle even. By the end of the cycle, we're thinking prices that are close to $30, above $20, potentially stuff that's even above $40, potentially targets that are even above $40 by the end of the cycle could be realized. And you know what, we can go over that real quick because we haven't talked about it in a second, so let's do that real quick and then we'll finish up the video. XRP BTC. The reason why I believe XRP is going to see $40 by the end of the cycle, and I'm going to keep that up there. We're going to take this one, XRP BTC. BTC Binance. There we go. If we're looking at it on a monthly time frame, I'm just taking a guess here. Okay, we don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess that by the end of the cycle, XRP is at not new all-time highs versus Bitcoin. It's probably not going to be at new highs relative to these highs here versus Bitcoin. This is the XRP chart compared to Bitcoin, not versus dollars, right? So just get that clear. But you are right now at kind of a shelf. You're kind of at the top of this shelf area here where you've been finding resistance time and time again. The more times you interact with this area, the more likely it's going to break. You've interacted with it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times now, and you're consolidating here. You're consolidating at this area month after month after month, where before you would just wick, tip it, and then reject, right? So I'm assuming that whenever it comes time to move, you are going to see some relative growth versus Bitcoin, and it would make sense that you do. From a high, maybe I should take this high to a low here, I would expect again that you don't see new all-time highs, but that you do see something at the 786 to 886 area. Why? As nice as the golden ratio is, here we'll put lines right there at the golden ratio, right at the 618, right here at the 69, right there. There's no significance. There's just really no significance, right? So I don't weigh on that as much. But if we look at the 786, there does seem to be, at least to some degree, some significance in this area, right? Get rid of the fibs there. 786 right there. Let's say for all intents and purposes, you only go to your golden ratio. That's all you do. We're going to do the math on that right now. Google calculator. Google calculator. All right. I don't know why, but I feel like saying it like that. It's like something, it reminds me of my dad. Shout out to my dad. I love you, Dad, if you're watching this. He would literally calculate. He not that he's ever said calculator, but he's like, check you later. Like, I don't, it reminds me of him. Anyways, we're at 405743. Okay, 4 zeros in Bitcoin, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 4, 3. Is that what I said? That's the golden ratio, right? That's the minimum, absolute minimum. This is versus Bitcoin. So this is the minimum price versus Bitcoin that I could see XRP attaining. So if we multiply this price versus Bitcoin times what Bitcoin's price would be at the end of the cycle, we would get what the price of XRP would be. I'm expecting Bitcoin to be over $460,000, being around 500K or higher by the end of the cycle. That's what I'm expecting. Okay. Let's run with 400,000 though. Let's make it very conservative. Let's just say, and I say very conservative, to some people are like, 400K is not conservative, bro. But let's just, from my own expectations, right? The whole purpose of this is, why do I think XRP will go to 40 bucks? So this goes into playing with what I think Bitcoin's going to do. I think it'll go to 500K by the end of the cycle. I really do. That's the target. I've had that target in mind for the past 2 years, or since this channel began, even before then. That'd be at 23 bucks. So 23 bucks, if XRP stops at the golden ratio, and if Bitcoin's worth $400,000 by the time XRP is topping off, okay, I could see that. Because again, thinking logically, when Bitcoin hits its all-time high, whatever price it might be, I'm saying 500K. Likely by the time XRP hits its all-time high, it will be after Bitcoin has already pulled back some. Now, I don't think that Bitcoin, by the time XRP touches its all-time high, I don't think Bitcoin's going to pull back from 500K down to 400K. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. But let's run with the next idea here. Let's do 40744. Actually, I don't think that you stop there, right? I would think the 69 is even more obscure than the 618. So actually, let's throw that out. Let's say the 786, because that's the 786 on the fibs. There is this target area here. So 0.0001. Let's just say that 0.0. It's actually 0.000106. Times, again, a $400,000 Bitcoin, to be quote-unquote conservative. Conservative in C-Zar's eyes, maybe not in your eyes. That would give XRP a price of $42. So I'm just saying, at these targets that are very doable on the Bitcoin chart, and I think you will see this. I really do think you will see this. Do you know what kind of market cap XRP would have to hit? Yeah, I'm aware. It'd be worth trillions of dollars. I'm over $1 trillion, right? I think, actually, I'm pretty sure it'd be over $1 trillion. Let me check on that real quick. Hold on. XRP at $135 billion market cap now, and it's at a price of $2.34. If it were to do a 10x, that's 1.35 trillion at $23. If it were to do a 20x, that would be $46, and you would be at about a 206 or no, a 2.6 trillion. Yeah, so you'd be multiple trillions of dollars. Yes, I'm aware of that. I thought it was multiple trillions, but I talk about so many things, man. It's been a while. But with the fact that you have gained status in the United States Crypto Reserve, there's likely going to be an arms race for XRP and other cryptos of the sort around the world. I know that Trump is trying to promote a lot of American cryptos, and that's great. But XRP has been something that's integrated itself with banking systems that are beyond just American banks, right? I mean, at least to my knowledge, and I would assume that there will be demand for this thing. Because of what Trump has instilled with this thing being in the United States Crypto Reserve, strategic reserve, right? I don't know what's strategic about it, right? I mean, maybe they plan on. I don't know. I think it is strategic, I suppose. I feel like whenever I hear strategic reserve, like the oil strategic reserves or stuff like that, that's like if we need it, right? So I suppose this would imply that if we need it, right? That would then imply that if America's ever in debt or we're in a moment in time where we might be on the edge of bankruptcy or financial calamity, we might just use these cryptos to sell. That's what it makes me think whenever I hear that. And I don't want that. I want it to be like a reserve that we never touch, right? Donald Trump, for a moment there in his White House crypto meetup, he was saying, they say never sell your Bitcoin. He's like, I don't know about that, and that just tells me it's like, what are they planning on doing with this reserve? Are they just using it to eventually sell? And of course, I think that's anybody's right. You should buy and sell whenever you want to, but hopefully they never do, because I think that the longer you hold, the more value it just has. But I'm getting onto a whole different topic here. All I'm trying to say, guys, is I think that XRP very likely does see prices that are at least above $20 by the end of the cycle, if not $40, and who knows, man, even more. Because I do feel, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like I am being conservative. And with this newfound reserve status, you might see targets that are even beyond that. But I got nothing else to say. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. $27 is the 1618. You got a $34 price here. I don't normally call for prices to stop between the 1618 and the 1886, but that $40 area seems to be a nice area to go to as well. So that's it. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.